I want them to say, wow, this is an amazing Black woman who has had this particular lived experience, and that unique creation made in the image of God is valuable to us in this context of our space. That is what I'm hoping that is made possible for all women, for all women. And not to just negate that they're women, because there does need to be some equity and some equality, and those are two different things. But also to value the womanhood and not automatically put it in a child container, or not automatically put it in the context of a marriage, and not automatically put it in traditional context. I wasn't blessed with children. I had a miscarriage in one of those seminary classes. But there's a victory from some of this pain. There's a story. There's a different heart that I'm going to bring. And that can be a valuable tool. Not that that's what God meant it for it to be, but I want the female part to be valued. I want that voice to be valued.
And like you said, value it. I don't need you to validate me.
Wow. Tell them.
I need to be valued.
Tell them.
But it's not about needing to have validation.
Tell them.
That's external.
Yeah.
So
and there are folks that are just getting started in different ways that may need that validation, especially if they come from a context where they have been stripped from those things. But yes, in general, we're not looking for validation. Our validation is handled vertically. That's handled. But yes, valued, because that's also handled. But I'm gonna need you to value.
Y'all hear that? Y'all gotta value.
Value that female voice.
I mean, because I've been intentional asking certain questions, because like people play some games. They play little games, and it's like, no, women have a lot to bring for years though. And even if we look at the Bible,
let us partner, which is a side by side. It doesn't have to be this. Let us side by side, because there are things that the woman can do that the man can't do.
That's true.
Yes,
and the same thing. And just like we respect that there's certain things that the man respect the same way. And so let's walk side by side and do this in
Let us walk together.
Because there's people that you can reach that I can't reach.
And vice versa. In so many ways. And not meant to. That's why the value still comes from a God place.
Right.
Because God made us very intentionally to be really great in areas, really less great in areas. We don't have to be great in all the areas. And those are not gender-based greatness. So
this might be off topic.
It's fine.
Both of you were at the service on last night.
Yes.
One thing that you both took from the worship experience and the sermon by Jeremiah Wright.
What I took from Dr. Jeremiah Wright is that no matter how many times I want to come up with excuses on why I can't,
right?
If God said that's what I'm supposed to do,
right,
it's going to happen. The question is, am I going to do like he did, and I'm going to, here's an excuse here, here's an excuse here, here's an excuse here, and just keep going through, or am I just going to say, you know what? All right, fine. Because God's going to get God's way.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So what I walked away with from that was Dr. Jeremiah Wright told about all these reasons on why he shouldn't have preached last night.
Right.
But I had plenty of reasons on why I shouldn't be the one preaching, or why I shouldn't be giving or doing all this other stuff.
Wow.
And it doesn't matter. If the assignment is mine, the assignment is mine.
Wow.
Dr. Jeremiah Wright is a brilliance
beyond
comparison.
Yeah.
Yes.
I said that.
And I am still ridiculously amazed.
Yeah, I'm full.
And this is from his speech. This is from his preaching. This is from his giving, his pouring out. Mm-hmm. But y'all, he could have never said a word, and he had already sermonized my whole entire life just by the fact that he rolled his differently abled self to a lift that had to bring him up to the place of position from which to preach, and he rolled out in a way that he didn't have to function this way prior to a stroke, and he sat down, and this is my mental health place, this is my #therapist moment, but he put systems in place to make him successful, to be the support that he needed. So he had his wife beside him, and she turned every page at the speed that he needed to follow. He didn't have use of one half of his body, but his other half was everything that he needed in that moment. No one made a big deal about whether she was up there, what she had on, what was happening. He joked, he laughed, he did all these things, but he did it. Yes, he did. He was the #shade master. But he did
No. I'm sorry. #palm tree side.
Palm tree. I mean,
master.
like mad shade, like moon eclipse.
But see, having been one, I was blessed to sit in to have him as a professor. Before the pre-stroke, and let me tell you, I know we all continue to pray for his health. We're all praying, but let me tell you. That man ain't lost. That man ain't lost nothing. It's all still here. But the way that he goes through the history of showing us all these things that they tried to tell us. And I'm sorry. One more thing that he did teach me was when he talks about them editing. They edited part of it. They did a soundbite, and we have to recognize that so many people are going to try to use sound bites
of our life.
There you go.
Of our narrative, not just our sermons, but
women,
of our narrative.
sound bites, right?
And again. Sometimes in stockings is a narrative, a soundbite. But anyway, so but him doing it in a different capacity than he had to do it before. I've only seen him in video clips.
And like you said, and he could have said, "I can't do it because this is not what they're used to." Yeah. I'm used to standing in front of thousands and millions of people. Standing with all of my faculties that able to work the way that everybody thinks it should work. But you know what? His body works the exact way that it's supposed to work right now because there's such a testimony in everything that he has to say.
And there's an aspect to that with being female, being in a female body, being in a differently abled body, being in any kind of marginalized group where you are not necessarily given the access that is whatever the dominant narrative and access is. So if you are not a super rich, wealthy, white male, then what does preaching look like for you? What does Tuesday look like for you? What does a pulpit moment look like for you? So we have to do this, and I have to figure out what supports do I need in place to be the black woman that I am, to be the preacher that I'm going to be in the body that I have been given, in the purpose that I've been given. How do I do that in my differently abledness? But it's from a female place, not a bodily.
I am not lesbian.
Where's the organ guy? We need somebody to back you up.
I am not lesbian because I tell you that I need certain supports.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter.
And that is a mental health place. And when she talked about stigma from terms of criminalization, same stigma in mental health and being bodily abled. Like, it should not be a stigma that someone go get the support that they need. And it should not distract from their faith. Faith and mental health should never clash. Jesus said, I came to heal the sick. So unless you are throwing people out of wheelchairs, I'm confused why you are throwing people out of mental health care. Right. It's just ridiculous to me. And it spoke to me and gave me, it really affirmed even more of my purpose. Like, I can point to something like this and keep pointing and saying there is so much that you are capable and able to do, and you do not have to be stigmatized by whatever form this now has to come in. Your great can be great.
Wow. Look, I'm just honored to know you guys, you ladies, and sit here and do this interview. And I mean, this has just been so informative, and I feel blessed. I don't even know if I need to go to worship tonight. I got a word. I got a word. But anything you want to say in closing?
I want to thank you for the opportunity. I want to thank you for allowing us to take this time aside, that we actually can talk from a place that a lot of people don't want to hear about it. They don't want to spend the time hearing about it because you know what? It's not pretty. Yeah. It's not packaged nicely. But I just want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity, and we got work to do, and let's keep it moving.
Especially in the context that you put it in. I'm very big on language, and Regina knows I'm ridiculous on language and context. And that the fact that you said, well, in February, Well, we normally celebrate Black history, which is important
with
all this lovely Blackness on this couch right here. And you said, but I'm also going to take this month to highlight female voices in this space and see what that can look like. Because I think one of the things that is often lost is the intersectionality of being both Black and being a woman. And there is Black history in my femaleness, in my Black femaleness, and that is a huge important aspect. So I also want to echo the thank you, as well as echo the thank you from even making Proctor possible last year. Can I get a word? Good. Can I get a word was wonderful and made it available so that I was able to go to Proctor last year. And this, once again, if not for the pouring out of support, if not, and that means we pour in and we pour out and we pour in. Hence the vessel is such vessels. So thank you for being a vessel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for submitting.
For making sure. Thank you that says when you say "Can I get a word?" that you have not predefined what the packaging looks like to get that word. And that's we have to make sure we're not doing that.
You have made yourself open. You have made yourself open.
And I mean, that whole thing came to me like right after we left Princeton, and I had to preach. And it was a service on the fruit of the Spirit, and I think mine was love, and I preached a very social justice-like message, and was met with the pastor at that church with, you always want to preach hope. People know the problems. You want to preach hope. And I'm like, wow. But all of this, I think, is really birthed out of our time we spent at the Black Theological Leadership Institute at Princeton, seeing Black women like Juanita Weems, first African-American woman to receive a PhD in Old Testament from Princeton, Reverend Nichelle.
Maureen Gerald.
Yeah, I don't want to leave anybody out. Yeah, oh God, yeah. Yeah.
And for me personally, just with my intersections, and Maureen Gerald lives in those intersections, and just seeing that was such a beacon for me. I was like, I just want to bust in. You are not alone. It was truly transformative, and we've maintained those connections and relationships.
And I know that there's more women out there who can walk in your shoes, can follow in your footsteps. And that's why I know that it's important, it's mandatory that we do this and continue to let women's voices be heard through various platforms, because if we don't utilize various platforms, we don't allow the voices of women to be heard, those like here at this conference, I'm learning like they're trying to take everything away from us. Like our kids are not learning the history that we learned.
No. Some of our kids are learning the history that we learned, but it's not the correct history. So we have a lot of work to do.
We still have a lot of work.
We're ready to do it.
And we're the work and the word.
Okay. Well, I thank you ladies for being humble. On the way out, you a round of applause. And,
thank you.
Say thanks again. I'm actually get a couple of these Lenten devotional books and give them out to people.
And you're going to write in next year's, right?
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that offline. I saw this, I was like, wait a minute, I had opportunity for that.
Just say yes. You wanted a word?
I was telling
when I call you, just say yes.
I was telling Pastor Ponder last night, I was like, oh my God, I had opportunity. But
but that's it.
And he did too. I extended it to Pastor Ponder, and he was being the vessel he needed at that moment. He had a lot of depth in both his family and in the church. So I'm grateful for him. Thank you so much. And thank you, apparently, Reverend Nichelle, for making all three of this possible. Thank you.
Big round of applause for you.
Yes. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
So if you're looking to connect with Can I Get a Word Ministries, you can email me at drduran@canIgetaword.org. You can go to the website, www.canIgetaword.org. Connect with us on Facebook, Can I Get a Word Now. On Instagram, it's Can I Get a Word. And on Twitter, it's Can I Get a Word Now. Love to connect with you. Love to partner with you. Until the next time, I'm going to say thank you for joining us, and peace.